Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dreadbread. Welcome to Space Monkey and Mafia. We're pants for the enemy. We just got finished watching the Old World previews with the Horus Heresy previews. Now we're going to jump right into the Age of Sigmar previews. Should be a good time. How's everybody? Everyone doing great? Alright, let's hop on into it. Let me just pop this up real quick. Shablooey! There we go. Just as always, if the previews start playing, I will mute the previews and we will go back to the just chatting, and once the previews are done, I will pop back into the stream. So far, no previews have played this time, but the last time when I did the coverage of the Warhammer 40k release for the 10th edition, because I can't say Leviathan for some reason, my brain just wouldn't do it. We had some previews that popped up. I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to do this live. I had to work both yesterday and today. Well, technically today's a different day, but you guys know what I mean. I had to be up early, and both previews happened either while I was going to bed, because the preview started at 1 o'clock in the morning, or they happened right as I was going to work. So, here we go. Yeah, we'll have to turn down the music too on the previews as well, just because I'm trying to finagle a way to stop getting hit with copyright ID claims for the music that are in the videos. In the past, I've gotten bogus copyright strikes. One of them was from a band that was around in the 70s that isn't around anymore, and they didn't really have any known hits or songs that I've ever seen. And the last one that I got, I think, is a valid one. I think it might be. I'm not sure. Like, the music is similar to what the guy used, but he hadn't made anything since 2017, but he did come out with a new album in 2013, and one of the songs kind of sounds like, or is close enough sounding to some of the songs that they played in the last videos. So let's go.
The Warhammer Age of Sigmar preview.
Yay, previews!
I'm Eddie, and I'm joined by Alex. And we're also joined by 800 people. Can you give us a cheer?
Hooray! Huzzah!
As well as thousands of people watching along live on
Yay,
Twitch.
that's
Alex,
me.
how is your
Well,
Warhammer
not
fest
live
going
anyway.
so far?
It has been absolutely fantastic. I was able to sneak into the back of the Warhammer 40,000 preview right at the start of yesterday, and obviously I was here for the Underworld's Warcry and Middle-earth one. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's been fun.
I don't know if I'll
Warhammer,
follow
being excited.
those,
Have we got
but
anyone else in the room
maybe.
who was at the Warhammer 40,000 preview yesterday?
Me!
Yeah.
Well, I did a catch-up video
Cool.
of
And
it.
we got any Mortal Realms fans in today? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Just
cool.
a few.
All right, okay, so jumping on. Here we are, here's us. So I am Eddie, I'm joined by Alex. Before we get too deeply into some previews, Alex, you got any Warhammer Age of Sigmar hobby going on at the moment?
Ooh, I'm making a little diorama for my Soul Blight. So I'm a massive fan of Cursed City and all things dead, basically. So I'm doing a little terrain piece with houses
Good
in
for
the
nothing,
background
squid
for
herder.
Rampart to walk down.
Very cool, very cool. I've been painting up some Cruel Boys. Some Cruel Boys. They're doing all right at the moment.
You're an orc at heart, aren't
I
you?
really, really like orcs. I hope there might be some green things in this preview, but we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do. Right, would anyone like to see some new miniatures?
I would.
Right, okay, we'll jump straight in with our first video and have a look at some new models that are on their way later this year.
Alrighty. Got some people on horses. Yes, enjoy the... They ride for war in the morning. And they ride for vengeance. Some of these I really like. That one, not so much a fan of the head. Ooh. Very cool. Again, I don't like painting faces because I'm not very good at it. So, unhelmeted models are not my cup of tea.
These are the Cities of Sigmar Free Guild Cavaliers. We've had a little look at some of the infantry on their way for the Cities of Sigmar, and this is their heavy cavalry. Alex, what do we know about Free Guild Cavaliers?
Ooh, well, these guys are... Well, these guys are fantastic. Sorry, a little bit of noise from outside. So you can see there, they're aesthetically very similar to each other. So heavy knights, cavalry, armor, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But they're each individual. The different heraldry, there's very different styles. You can see from the helmets there that these guys, they come from different parts of the mortal realms, different cities, and they've all been gathered for a purpose. And with the Dawnbringer Crusades going out ever further, a heavy cavalry element is ideal.
Yeah, so each one of these is incredibly detailed. There's loads of really nice heraldry on them. One thing that's really nice is there's lots of nice flat surfaces on there as well. So you could certainly paint them very quickly if you wanted to, and just have a nice unified force. But if you wanted to kind of go to town on them, you could absolutely have each one with very personalized heraldry, a little bit like you've got there, with some unifying colors to kind of hold them all together. So there's that kind of idea of nobility, and kind of each one might be like an individual duke or a fiefdom or something like that.
That's cool.
Kind of riffing off that kind of ancient medieval knight aesthetic a little bit.
All right, so I'm just going to pause this real quick. The color scheme for this it throws me off. I don't know why, but this, to me right here, it just, how it's painted, it comes off kind of, I don't know, like weird. Because I understand this is its head, but then it has something on it. But it just, to me at this angle, it looks like it doesn't really have a head. I do like how it's that little snail thing over there. This one, by far, is my favorite. I like that one a lot. And that dude, that one I really like. That model is okay, again, with the heads. I'm not particularly a fan of unhelmeted models, just because I can't paint faces. But that one, I don't know. It's the rider's a bit... maybe it's just how it's painted. Kind of looks kind of chunky. I mean, I don't know. I do like the horse, but maybe I don't know. Maybe a different pose on the model would have been better. And hopefully this guy comes out with different loadouts too, besides just having a banner. Alrighty. Anyway, that's just my grievances. Like I said, I really do like this one. The color really pops. Just the way that this one's painted doesn't look like the horse has a head. That one's pretty cool. I do like the horse and the Sigmar stuff, but I'm just not a fan of the unpainted the heads, and not a fan of just the pose that she's doing on the horse. Anyway.
And as you mentioned, the infantry that we showed off a little while ago, you can see how they fit in really well with the army. It's the same thing. The theme is all there to gather them all together, but they're all very clearly from different places.
Yeah, and these ones are a lot more ornate as well, and you'll see that as we show you guys more of the Cities of Sigmar stuff as we get more of it out. The infantry are relatively basic. They've got like a shield and a little bit of heraldry, and that's about it. These ones have each got a little bit more flamboyance, a bit more kind of detailed touches, and then as we see more and more impressive characters and units and things, they might have even more kind of gothic touches. There's a lot of very Warhammer features on these guys as well. There's quite a lot of skulls. There's lots of kind of angular shapes and things, so they definitely feel very Mortal Realmsy, and they're starting to fill out that that thing that's really been missing in Age of Sigmar, which is like, what do the actual humans look like? We've had Stormcast for ages that have been, dropping down to save people and save cities, but then, who are they saving? What do those people look like? And this army kind of fills in that gap in the Mortal Realms. We've got a little bit of a comparison next to one of the old Empire Knights, so you can that's the glow up basically that you've got there, and you can see that there's a little bit of homage there to some of the old barding and styles.
The curve in the barding on the horse, that kind of thing, and it's that stag helm is really nice.
So very cool. So there you go. So that's a little look at the next unit for Cities of Sigmar. This army is on its way later this year, and we'll have more stuff to show you as the year goes on. But we've got lots more to tell you about. The next video is about the next big narrative for Warhammer Age of Sigmar in the Mortal Realms. So let's take a look.
Sorry, again, I'm just turning this down and trying to talk over it. I do apologize, but I gotta do it. So what's this video gonna be about?
It has been many months.
It has been many
since
months.
the Twin Crusades set out from Hammerhand, filled with faith in
chanting only the
Oh.
What do those board behind? All those no offense. Only those but these are the
Dregs of society, thieves and murderers.
Blazing heat of action and the impenetrable jungle.
from
The very beginning.
abandoned by Sigmar still
Uh-oh.
out where we might claim
No one said this campaign would be easy,
where the horrors
but
lie.
none expected this harsh.
Witches is
Dead.
just
Ooh.
to begin to worsen. We shall harry them. Tell them to march on and
We are Sigmar's chosen warriors,
Hmm.
and even we
blood for the dark gods demand Saturn
Uh-oh.
to the darkness.
Dawnbringers. A huge new miniature narrative from the mortal realms. Warhammer. Age of Sigmar. One will rise, one shall fall, all shall burn. Ooh.
So, Dawnbringers. Dawnbringers is. Oh, have a round of applause. Why not? Why not? Dawnbringers is the next major narrative for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is a story
Okay.
that chronicles two huge crusades that are setting out from the twin city of Hammerhall, one into the realm of fire,
Hammerhall.
one into the realm of life. A huge new narrative that will cover all the Grand Alliances and loads of different factions. One of the things that we can tell you about it is that it effectively is about these two massive crusades, one of them into Akshi, one of them into Gyron. One of the crusades will succeed, one of the crusades will fail, but you don't know which one is which as we start off. So you can kind of follow along, you can join in with the campaign and the narrative, you can kind of root for your chosen crusade, but one of them will effectively meet a horrible demise and one of them will succeed. Alex, anything more you want to tell us about?
Just one little thing.
Yeah.
Going back to that picture, the art in these books is phenomenal. And the Hammerhall Gyro there, absolutely beautiful. It's the breadbasket of the mortal realms, as it were. And you can see the realm gate there. So if any of you have watched Black Talon, or you're lucky enough to go to the cinema night tonight and you're going to see Black Talon, there's a lot more beautiful art that's in that of Hammerhall Gyro as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important to say about Dawnbringers is that we haven't really had the chance to tell this story until the Cities of Sigmar release happened, because almost the main narrative of Age of Sigmar in this edition is this idea of these huge crusades setting out, and the bulk of the crusades is made up of
built
mortal
a
troops of
Stargate.
humans for the most part. So now that we've got this faction, they can actually play this huge role in the narrative, which they've always been implied, but we've never been able to explore before.
Yeah.
A little bit more cool new art for you. So
Ooh.
there's some hints of some of the places and peoples we might see as we go into this. With the first book in the Dawnbringers series will be this one, which is Harbingers. It will be a multiple
That
book
is an
series
old
that
model.
will span multiple stories and touch on lots of different factions and different races. So there you go. So there will be new miniatures accompanying this for over a dozen factions, and we'll have a look at the first of some of those miniatures just now. So we're going to jump into, let's have a look at the first miniature, shall we?
Sounds good.
Great.
Uh-oh. Boom, boom, boom. Music. It's gonna be a dwarf. Better not be on his diary of grudges. Dawnbringers, and he brings new something. Whoa. Oh. Grimhold Exile. Okay. Cool model. Not a fan of how they painted the eyes, because it kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik. The tiny bitty little eyes. Honor your fallen kid.
Here we go. So this is a new character for Fire Slayers. This is a Grimhold Exile. Alex, what do we know about Grimhold Exile?
Yeah, so Fire Slayers are naturally hardy. You kind of have to be to run around wearing so little. And the Grimhold Exiles basically take this to a whole new level. These guys are the last survivors of their hold. So in the era of the Beast with rampaging Aurochs and great herds destroying everything.
That
this is
one's
becoming
painted
more
a
and
little
more
bit
common.
better.
So these guys, having endured the fall of their hold, they've taken it upon themselves to wield the sacred flame of that hold and strike out in search of vengeance. And one of the things that often happens when these guys do is they basically encourage other Fire Slayers to gather around them and join them on their little crusade.
Very cool, very cool. The first Dawnbringer book will actually be accompanied by new characters for all 4 of the Grand Alliances. So let's have a look at the next one now.
Uh-oh. Spooped up the music. Dawnbringers, the heralds of chaos. Yep, that was an old resin model. Harbinger of decay. Whoa! More Nurgle boys. Very cool. I like the helmet. Very awesome. I want to convert these guys to 40k. Put them in my Death Guard army. Very, very cool.
Pretty cool. This is the Harbinger of Decay. This is for the Maggotkin of Nurgle. An absolutely beautiful miniature that I think will be much loved by painters as well as collectors of Nurgle armies. This guy, very reminiscent of some really classic bits of Warhammer Fantasy art as well. There are some options in this kit too, so you can either kit him out with a bell, so you can sound the approach of Nurgle and Plague, or you can give him a scythe, because it's just always nice to have scythes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always good.
Alex, what do we know about this guy?
So these guys are the Heralds of Despair. They're sort of cloaked in foulness, blessed by Nurgle. They've plied their trade for centuries. These guys have been abroad in the mortal realms for who knows how long. But now they finally come forth sort of in force. With these Dawnbringer Crusades coming out, there's loads of nice
I might
little
pick up that
settlements
model just to paint it.
Eager for Grandfather
Very nice.
Nurgle's loving hug. And so basically, this has become such a massive thing.
His hug's
particularly
moist.
in Gairan. But one of my favourite things about these guys is that the Plague God's followers are usually quite jovial. You've seen the Great and Clean one with his big smile and
He's a happy guy.
little Nurglings dancing around, being all jolly. But this guy is very dour, and so the other forces of Nurgle kind of, maybe they don't push him away, but he's not part of the...
Send him off. Maybe we should go talk to some other people.
Yeah, he sits in the corner.
Okay, cool. I think that the miniature, for me, is one of the best miniatures of the year so far.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful model. I think I would be very surprised if at Golden Demon next year there aren't a few of these entered. Right, okay, so that's Order and Chaos. Let's have a look at what Destruction has brought.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, there we go. Again, I have to turn down the music for YouTube reasons. Ooh, I like these guys. I like me goblins. Rabble rousers. That's very cool. With this little bat squig Pokemon. That's very, very cool. I like that. Let's go! Subterranean hordes.
There he is. This is a rabble rouser for Gloomspite Gits. This guy is accompanied by some bat squigs, which I think were a hit when they came out with Warhammer Underworlds. So you can imagine these little squigs clinging to the underside of caves and things. And a rabble rouser's job basically is to kind of fire up the crowd of the forces of destruction ready for a battle. They probably don't need all that much firing up, but
No.
it's just nice to have a little bit of extra encouragement. Anything else you want to say about this guy, Alex?
He's possibly the most stylishly dressed grot in the mortal realms, with that giant squig skull on him.
Yeah. Anyone looking for cosplay next year, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah?
perfect.
Seems like a hit, doesn't it?
But yeah, these guys, most grots, they're kind of along for the ride. Whereas this guy, as you said, he gets everybody roused up. He wants to just get the job done. He's in for a scrap. So he uses a mixture of sort of like insults, encouragement, and zealotry to rile everybody up and send them great distances. But you imagine that a little grot's squeaky voice is probably, not particularly encouraging. So there's maybe something else going on here, maybe blessings of Gorka Morka, or
Ooh.
I'll leave that up for you to find out.
Well, he's brought a very big jaw with him, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So he can kind of project a bit louder. Don't know what squigs sound like. Do we know what squigs sound like?
Have you played the Squigapult in the main hall?
I wasn't very good at it.
What's the sound when one of them hits the target?
Kind of like a boing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, cool. All right, so we've seen 3 of the Grand Alliances. Let's have a look at what Death have brought along.
Ooh. Vampires? No, I don't think. Is vampires upon a death? I don't know. I think they'd be. Don't bring us the herald of death. Alright, we got some flesh court kings. Saw a big guy in the back. So we're getting some new. Oh, that means dead. Don't shoot the messenger, okay.
This is the Marrow Scroll Herald, a new character for the Flesh Eater Courts. Flesh Eater Courts are getting some good love this Warhammer Fest.
they
They got
some
some,
love
some
yesterday.
models on the way for Warcry. They got some stuff. This new character, he is an emissary of his king. What would you like to tell us about this guy?
So yeah, the Marrow Scroll Heralds basically go out and they muster the peasants for war. So the king can get his knights and his court together, but these guys go from village to village and round up the peasants. In reality, he's a flesh-eating ghoul that goes from village to village and spreads his ghoul madness. He thinks he's, you know, an honourable emissary going with his little staff, preaching about, you know, the righteousness of this conflict. He's covered in trinkets. In reality, it's just bones and skin and horrifying things, but he believes it so much that even if you're just within his presence and hearing what he says, you start to believe it too. So those who are particularly weak-willed might even succumb.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, very cool. So, I mean, all of these characters are interacting with
Jedi
this
mind
idea
tricks.
of these huge crusades that are going out into the realms, and they're basically like pitching for their deities,
Yeah,
effectively.
lots of recruiting opportunities.
Yeah, so one thing to say about all of these characters is that in Dawnbringers, there'll be new Regiments of Renown for every Grand Alliance. Regiment of Renown is effectively like an allied formation that you can put into your Age of Sigmar armies. There will be a Regiment of Renown for each of these characters. So if you have a Flesh Eater Courts army, you can definitely just take the model and put it into your Flesh Eater Courts army. But if you have a different Death Army, Chaos Army, Destruction Army, Order Army, you can add these Regiments of Renown into that force. So we can have a look at exactly what's in those boxes. So if we start off with the Chaos and Order forces, we've got the Shudder
Might pick
Hood
up that one.
for Forces of Chaos, led by our new Harbinger, and the Flame Bearers. Anything you want to say about these guys, Alex?
Yeah, so you can see that it's Fulgoth's Shudder Hood and Fury's Flame Bearers. So these are the named versions of those characters, and they feature an awful lot in this book. So a lot of the lore comes either from their perspective or their victim's perspective.
Cool. Then here are the Forces of Destruction and Death. So squig heavy box, everyone's going to enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
And then a whole bunch of ghouls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ideal for going along if you were
They
going to
need
grab
new
that
models.
warband
I
that
know they
showed
showed
on
off
Twitter.
some, but
Yeah, so a few more things to tell you about what's going on with Dawnbringers for fans of the lore of Age of Sigmar in particular. So two important things are the Path to Glory rules for
Okay.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which are the main kind of way that you engage with the gaming
nice.
element,
They're
I
free?
suppose, of Dawnbringers. They will be made available free online. So if you want to play Path to Glory, you don't need your big core book anymore. There'll be a free download to access them. And there will also be brand new fiction for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So if you want to kind of read some stories and follow along what's going on in the narrative, you absolutely can. So this is a really big narrative moment, I suppose, for the Mortal Realms and for Age of Sigmar. So we're going to give you loads of ways, whether you want to enjoy it through gaming or you want to kind of enjoy the lore, basically.
no, something's wrong with my model.
That's it. And just to say, the
There we
rules for those boxes are in this book.
Great. Okay, cool. So I think we hinted a little bit that we might have some Orky stuff at the start of this.
Orky.
So let's have a look. With the second of the Dawnbringer books, has quite a kind of destruction-y feel. There's some quite cool stuff coming along with that book. Let's have a look at what might be my favourite model of the year so far.
Oh, death metal. Prepare to go the whole hog. Oh no! Oh, he's on a giant.
If you miss this, you better be dead. And if not, get Nekos to reanimate your soul.
That's alrighty. Go pig or go home. All right.
I think. Yeah.
I think they like it.
I think it's fair to say the video team had some fun making that video. So let's have a look at this guy up close. This is an Iron Jaws.
Ooh.
Here we are. Here he is. This is an Iron Jaws Maw Grunter. It's for those people who were looking at their Iron Jaws army and they were like, it's pretty unsubtle, but it's just not unsubtle enough for me. I want something even brutaler, even less, finesse. I want a massive, massive pig to charge into the middle of the enemy army and send them flying. And here it is.
He's got little sidecars as well.
He's got some little sidecars, yeah. So it's a huge monster. You don't really get a sense of the scale of it from this shot necessarily, because Iron Jaws themselves are quite big, and that's like a big boss on the back of it. So we've got a picture of it next to the current Gore Grunter, which is already quite big. So this is, it's a big monster. This is bigger than a Stegodon. It's kind of like, it's a big old base. Anything you want to tell us about a Maw Grunter, Alex?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's just a giant swine. I can't imagine being hit by one of these.
Yeah. So a few things
Get
to
a lot
note
of
about
bacon
this.
out of
This
it.
will be a multi-option kit, so you'll have a few
that's
different ways
good.
to assemble this. If you just really, really like big pigs, you can build this in a few different ways. So you can have characters on it. You can have it as like a monster unit option. You can lean very heavily into a kind of piggy theme, a kind of grunter theme for your Iron Jaws. So if you just want lots of cavalry backed up by some big pig monsters, you can absolutely do that.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. That might be my favourite model of the Fest reveals.
It was certainly
Sure,
my
it's
favourite.
cool and all, but
Certainly my favourite
Oh,
video.
they
of
took
Fest
the-
reveals.
I think so. Cool. Okay.
So I noticed they took this from Blood Bowl and put it on their on the new models. That's pretty funny.
Well, that's the models we've got to show you today. We do have a bit of a roadmap to show you to run
Alrighty,
through
let's
what's
go
coming up
through
for
the
Warhammer
roadmap.
Age of Sigmar in the next few months. So let's take a look at what's on the horizon. So there we go. As we know, we have Seraphon Battle Tome has come out in its special edition in the last week or so. We have Harbingers, Book 1 of the Dawnbringer series is on its way very, very soon. And we have a new General's Handbook, which will be hitting in summer as well. So all of those releases in summer are only a few weeks away. In autumn, we have the much-anticipated Cities of Sigmar Battle Tome will be landing with us, along with all the models we've seen and a whole bunch of new ones that we're going to share with you over the coming months. We've got Book 2 of Dawnbringers, which will have a very heavy destruction theme as the Twin-Tailed Crusades kind of hit some Iron Jaws obstacles as they go along. And Book 3, which is yet to be confirmed. We have another Battle Tome on its way in winter, and then Book 4 of Dawnbringers alongside it. So some kind of a little bit of mystery about what some of those might have, but you've got some hints in there already.
Lots of things to look forward to.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. One thing to note is that the Dawnbringer series will touch on every Grand Alliance and will have new miniatures for over 12 factions, which is pretty cool.
That is
Right.
pretty cool.
If you're watching along on Twitch, that is the end of our preview stream. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed some of the models we've got to show off. There's some cool things on their way. So thank you for joining us. If you are in the auditorium,
They will be doing Q&As. There you go. Oh, I thought Okay, a little bit of lag there. Alrighty. Let's go over here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was all of it. I don't know if I'll be doing the Lord of the Rings one. Maybe I'll do Lord of the Rings one. I don't play that game. But maybe I will do it because I didn't plan on doing this one either. I was just going to do Old World and Horus Heresy, but maybe I'll do all of them. Who knows? I do enjoy making this content. I quite like it. We will see how the copyright claims go when I upload these to YouTube. I'll probably still get struck with them. I probably weren't fast enough on some of them, and who knows? But I quite like them. Like doing this. I don't like getting copyright ID claimed. I quite like doing this. I'm having loads of fun doing this. This is content that I originally wanted to do, but was not confident of not enough to do in the beginning, so I just stuck to gameplay. I'm quite enjoying everything. So, my name is Redbread. This has been the Warhammer Fest reveals. I was going to say re-previews, but that's not right. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the views and the support on my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it. For those of you who are new, I am a variety streamer, so I will be playing other games and things and so forth. I might be playing some spooky games pretty soon. I don't do very good with spooky games, so you'll get to see me wig out and cuss and sweat very hard. So that's just something fun to look forward to, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Dreadbread. All the links where you can find me will always be in the descriptions of the VODs, and I will see you in the next one. Until next time, bye-bye.